Welcome guys. Today I'll be showing you guys how to take control of this A bomb site on T side. You can either rush through ramp and palace as fast as you can, or you can take your time to set up and execute. But there's also a trick that makes taking A site a lot easier. So if you come over towards mid, with most teams they'll be having an opper sitting here or someone sitting here for info to watch if they come out mid. If you deny them this info here, and this isn't necessary but it helps if you deny this info here, this forces them to be cautious of their connector and their mid presence. So this will pull the attention away from your palace and your ramp player. Having mid presence is going to help whether you are going fast on A or slow towards A, because even if you don't have a lot of time to send a lot of presence towards mid because you need everyone rushing towards A, a simple top mid smoke makes it so this opper is unaware if they can be crossed to boxes or not, so it raises the suspicion in mid a little bit. But you might want to condition if you're going to do that, because this can be a tell that it's going to be an A execute. So firstly, if you're going fast, then there's only a few smokes that are really necessary, like this, stairs, and jungle. That's because most of the time, unless the CT side knows you're on an eco. If they know you're on an eco, then they'll probably play retake with one back here. But most of the time they'll play one or two ingested in the site. So if you only throw these two, only using two smokes, leaving ticket open, it seems dangerous, but it'll be fine, because once you have your teammates scale here and clear the site, they're able to take this and play post plant very easily right here. When rushing the bomb site, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. There's around two nades that are going to be need to thrown every time that you rush. You're going to need to smoke this molly off almost every time, because they're going to molly ramp, and you're also going to have to flash your teammates out of ramp. So have those two nades accounted for, definitely. Having people come palace or go ramp, it completely depends on what you're trying to do, because you're able to clear out underpass, and with your right side smokes, having a palace player is very strong, because when your team is scaling up the right side, they're going to be looking towards site, clearing out default and all this. So having someone to watch the smoke and sandwich is very, very crucial. So if you want most of your teammates to rush palace, there's a few things that need to be done. You need to have your right side smoked, of course, and the first people getting out of palace are going to be the most important, because they need to either take this fight with this person on default, or they need to clear firebox. And this is where it gets tricky, because there will most likely be someone playing underpass if you haven't cleared it, or underbalk if you haven't cleared it. So having someone ready to drop down and clear underpass is very important. Rushing out of palace is very hard to pull off if you do not take CT after you take the bomb site, because if you allow their market players to rotate up right here and close you into the site, this makes it a lot easier for these connector and jungle players to push into the site, not having to worry about this angle. Now, if your team is planning on just executing the site and not just rushing in, it gets a little bit more confusing, because there's going to be more utility you have to use, such as a CT smoke, I would recommend, because by the time that you guys execute, having everyone in place and ready to go, there's a chance that there could be a rotator coming towards ticket booth in time. So throwing your 3 standard smokes is very important. With your 3 standard smokes, always add molly. Wow. Always add that molly by the jungle smoke. Always have it under molly. And with that, that will close off most of the site. That will force most of the site to fight you. The only thing is, there's a couple positions that'll give you trouble, like this one. Someone can play here, and I know that this is very obvious, but you're able to take these fights and these fights very easily if someone's not aware of this position. Another thing is, if your player is not swinging and taking his default battle, he's able to kind of just have his day or have his way with the A main players, because there will most likely be flashbangs coming over from the jungle player supporting their site player. So the faster these guys are killed, the easier it is for you guys. Frags. So one thing I see a lot of people do that is not going to win you the round is when these smokes are down, the bomb will come out and plant, right, like this folks do. But everyone else will stay Tetris, sandwich, ramp, maybe under in firebox. And that's going to get you the bomb down. You're going to be able to get the trades like that, but in order to actually have a strong presence on the site, you're going to have to be playing more more aggressive positions, such as triple, where you're able to take these fights, even though CT might be a threat. Playing missiles is always a good option too, because if you allow these CTs to just control these angles, they can obviously see that there's no one here, and it's going to speed up the retake process by a lot, and there's a lot of time on that bomb. So taking a CT is always a really smart play if you can do it. The thing is, when you're throwing a CT smoke, a lot of the time they will just play behind it and just wait for the retake. So there's a few options you have. You can flashbang through it, of course, but sometimes people will be prepared for that and just read you like a book and just make you look stupid. So what I do is, when this smoke is getting ready to fade, I'll come up missiles and support my teammates while they plant the bomb, and make sure that there's no one crossing the site through here. And when this is starting to fade, I'll molly out sitting here and get a flashbang over my shoulder so I can clear out this area. And with that, once you combine those two nades, you have all of CT besides this corner. So I can either post on this, or I can decide to push into it. And that's where a deeper flashbang will come in handy if you want, but that's where it gets confusing. Hey guys, I forgot to mention that if you're having your players rush out of palace, having your right side smokes is always necessary, like your stairs in jungle, but make sure that your players down here, make sure that they throw flashbangs either here, like the regular lamp flash, or I like to jump throw and have them pop right above palace like this to blind the default player right here. And yeah, that's how to do it right there. Thank you guys for watching. I'm very new to this type of video, so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Thank you.